Hello, you're watching this video because you want to learn about 4 successful habits of any successful truck driver. So there's a whole bunch of habits, but we're going to break down the top 4 different habits any successful truck driver should have if they want to have a long life career here in this world that we call trucking. So now let's define what the successful truck driver means. So in order to be successful here in the trucking industry, that means one of 2 things. 1, you have to be safe, and 2, you have to be able to make a good amount of money to be successful here. So that being said, how are you safe? We're going to talk about that. And how to make the most money, you have to understand this is a long-term play. So just like when you start a new job, you're going to start off at the bottom because you have no experience. As you gain more experience, you're able to be a safer driver, which means that you're going to cost less money on insurance and you're actually able to provide a lot more income to yourself just because your skill set has grown tremendously. So let's talk about the 4 successful habits any successful truck driver should have. Habit number 1 is going to be being on time. So you can imagine in the transportation industry, your job is to get things from point A to point B. And if you do that on time, then you're great. If you do that early, then you're amazing. So on time in any business, you should have it in your mind saying that you're going to be there 15 minutes before anything that you're supposed to be around, right? So if you making sure, of course, if it's weather, if it's traffic, things do happen, but over the long haul, you want to make sure that a majority of your time, you're actually starting the trip on time and you're going to be ending the trip on time. The downsides of actually not being on time, say all of a sudden you have a pickup window between 2 and 3 o'clock and you show up at 3:30 to pick up the load at a warehouse. That warehouse might be super busy, which means they give you that window for a certain reason, which means if you're not there on time, you're probably just going to delay the entire process. And how does that actually affect you? It affects your paycheck because now the time clock that you're supposed to be running on is running out, which means you can drive less hours that day, which means you're going to travel less distance, and if you get paid by the mile, you're going to get paid less simply because you're not on time. So rule number 1 of being a successful truck driver is be on time no matter where you are. As long as you're scheduled to do it, make sure you keep your integrity and make sure you show up when you tell your people that you're going to show up. Thing number 2 that's going to keep you successful is to make sure that you're safe. So the best thing that's going to make sure that you're safe is going to be making sure that you are performing the proper inspections necessary. So in order to actually make good money in this industry, it doesn't matter how much you actually make, it matters how much you keep in your pocket itself. So that being said, if you do your inspections religiously, like you're supposed to every single morning, then you're able to catch problems when they're small, so then that means it's a very easy fix. If you delay this process or you skip out a few days or a few weeks, which turns into a few months, and all of a sudden these small problems turn into bigger problems, now all of a sudden you're going to have to do 2 things. You're going to have to stop working because the truck's going to be in the shop for a longer period of time, and the repair is going to cost you a lot more money. Versus if you just found it very shortly, then you're able to actually keep your truck safe, keep everything moving, and you're able to keep the highest productivity as possible because that truck, when that truck is on the road, that's the only time you're actually making money. If the truck's parked in the truck shop, you're not making any money that day and you still have to pay the mechanic to fix the trucks that you do have, right? So second most important thing is going to be make sure you do your inspections daily. Now let's talk about thing number 3. Thing number 3 is going to be about making sure you keep in proper following distance. So another thing about being safe and the longevity of this game is going to be make sure that you get into no accidents at all. When you're driving these big tractor trailers, it can take up to 300 feet to stop one of these things, which means you want to make sure that you have enough space in front of you and around you to make sure that if you do have to stop for whatever reason, you're able to stop and not cause any extra accidents or any extra issues in front of you, right? So that is the main thing that you can control. Will this stop you from going 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour sometimes? Yes, 100%. But safety is more important because in the long haul, you're actually going to be able to make out a lot more if you have 0 accidents on your record. You're a lot less risky, and the company is able to pay you more because it's going to cost them less to actually employ you, right? So when a company actually employs you, they have to take a whole bunch of costs into account. Okay, how much is the insurance going to be? The higher risk you are, the higher your insurance, which means the less that they can actually pay you. Now, what's his accident record, right? How about his repairs? The more we have to pay to repair the truck, the less we have funding to actually pay you, right? So all these things go into your pocket as long as you stay safe and you can stay this thing long term. And then the fourth thing that makes you into a superstar is going to be staying organized, right? So when you're picking up loads, dropping off loads, there's paperwork that's involved with that. So making sure that you have a system of organization when it comes to tracking all the registration and insurance of the vehicles, right? That's just basic things, but also picking up and dropping off loads, especially if it's LTL loads, which means it's not a full trailer, which means you can actually have multiple stops on one trailer. And if you're not organized paperwork wise, you can actually mess up your entire day, lose efficiency, and ultimately make less money. And if you mess up on enough paperwork, the company might just fire you right off the bat, right? So those are going to be the four main things that any truck driver to be successful has to do, which are going to be on time, make sure you do your daily inspections, make sure you do the proper following distance, make sure you have enough space between you and the vehicles in front of you, and then number 4, be organized with all your paperwork. If you follow that, and if you have gotten your CDL training at the best truck driving school in the country, like here at Driving Academy, we're definitely here to help you out up until the day you die with our lifetime job placement program. We have our guaranteed training courses available, so all you need is $500 down to get started, and then we can work out a payment plan for the rest. So all you need to get started, like I said, $500 down. If you want more information on that, go to our website at cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.